this is the intro, cause I don't know how to make one yet. Seriously, that's going to be my intro. In case you haven't heard yet, just a few days ago, Colin Kaepernick was picked as Citizen of the Year according to GQ magazine. I mean, I'm sure that you actually have heard, considering that it's been blowing up my feed for the past few days, so I'm sure it's showing up in yours as well. Some people are really happy about this, and some people are really upset about this. Since everybody seems to be talking about it, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in my 2 cents. So, really quick, let's be frank. When you think of an outstanding American citizen, what qualities come to mind? For me, I think of somebody who stands up to what they believe is tyranny and is unwavering in that stance. I think of somebody who loves this country and wants to see it succeed. I think of somebody who supports our troops and all that they do for this country. And I see somebody who donates both their time and their money to American charities in order to help other American citizens. For anybody keeping tabs, Colin Kaepernick is that guy right now. You might disagree with what he started this whole movement over. Maybe you don't think that there is any racial discrimination or police brutality happening in this country. However, that doesn't make it wrong to still fight against those things, to make sure that beyond a shadow of a doubt those things aren't happening in this country, and to try and help push America forward in a positive way. Whether or not you believe it, that's all he was trying to do from the very beginning. You might argue that he didn't actually help push America forward, but instead he just ended up furthering the divide, but that was not his intention. At least I should say I'm fairly certain that that was not his intention. It was other people that made what he was doing divisive. They made it out like he was disrespecting our military, despite the fact that he has said multiple times that he does respect our military, and despite the fact that he has received support from countless veterans, and despite the fact that he was actually told to kneel by a United States military veteran. They made it seem like he hated America, despite the fact that on multiple occasions he said that this is not the case and that he actually loves this country. He was just trying to raise awareness around an issue in the way that he thought would grab the attention of the most amount of people, and he did. In fact, that's the next thing I'd like to bring up. Kaepernick's name has been spoken so many times throughout this past year, it is crazy. He's probably one of the most talked about NFL players literally ever, and he's not even talked about for his ability to play football. Instead, everyone knows him for doing something that is inherently American. For anyone just tuning in, all he was doing was using his American rights to protest in America, hoping to bring about positive change for America. He was even protesting in a peaceful and respectful manner. He never burned a flag, and he never physically hurt anyone. Actually, he did play football, so he might have actually hurt someone at some point, but he's never physically hurt anyone in order to try and prove his point. In fact, not only has he not hurt anyone, he's actually been doing a lot to help this country. He has pledged to give $1 million of his own money to charities since this whole thing started, and so far he's already donated $900,000. Now, some people might come out and say, well, that's nothing for him. He got a $126 million contract. And while that is kind of true, it's not entirely. According to the sources I've found, since his contract ended early, he only ever actually saw about 1/3 of that. And so I think from what I've read, he's only actually received about $39 million. I've even seen some reports that say that his net worth is actually only at around $22 million, which when you think about it kind of makes sense, because once you start dealing with tens of millions of dollars, I'm sure taxes cut pretty deep. Even still, maybe $1 million out of 22 or 39 or whatever in between isn't all that much money, but it's still a good amount of money, and it's still going to help a lot of people. Lastly, I'd like to say this. Are there people in America who have raised and given more money to charities than Colin Kaepernick over the past year? Certainly. Are there people who have given more for this country and other ways throughout this past year? Absolutely. Is Colin Kaepernick the hands-down best American citizen that there is alive right now? Yeah, I'm gonna have to say no to that. However, what I will say is that he is very well known, and what he's known for is very American. So is GQ justified in picking him for their Citizen of the Year? Yes, they are. Especially when you consider how far left they lean. I mean, that would be like Breitbart putting out a ranking of all of the presidents and putting Donald Trump at number 1. It just kind of fits the MO of the news source. As for me personally, I actually do agree with his movement in theory, I just disagree with some of the stuff that he's said and done. Mainly the socks. I wasn't too fond of that, nor some of the other stuff that he said about police officers. There are a few bad eggs, I will admit that. However, there are far more good cops than bad cops, and I firmly believe that. As for him getting the award, I don't understand why everybody's so up in arms. I mean, it's literally just an award from a magazine, and quite frankly, I don't think that's all that special, but you know what? Good for him, and yeah. And I'm gonna end this video right there. If you'd like to check out any of the sources I used to make this video, you can find them in the doobly-doo. Shameless Wheezy Waiter shout out. Remember to click that thumbs up button if you liked this video, share it around so more people have to hear my voice, and leave a comment to let me know what you think. Do you think Kaepernick deserves this award? Do you think he doesn't deserve it? If so, why? Whatever you're thinking, I'd love to hear it, so leave it in the comments down below. Also leave a comment letting me know what you'd like to see me be frank about next. And, with all of that being said, I've been Frank, you've been lovely, and I can't wait to talk to you again.